Well, I don't know that anyone else is joining, so we may as well get going. Sean?
Yeah, I think it is a good time to start, 10 minutes after. We'll start in ballot order, in alphabetical order. So, starting with our board
Well, let's.
members.
I'm sorry. Let's set it up so that we have in context in the recording.
Yes,
So,
but of course.
welcome everyone to the Meet the Candidates event for 2023. We have an annual meeting in a couple of weeks, and we are about to get started on our elections for board members and officer positions. And so, this is an opportunity for everybody who is nominated to be able to make a statement and make a plea for why they want to be elected. We don't have a whole lot of competition on the ballot this year, so it's just a chance for people to talk and raise any concerns or what did they see for the future of Crash and so on. So with that, let's go ahead. And I guess it's also worth pointing out that per our bylaws, the board of directors is elected by the membership, and then we have a quorum that we have to meet on votes. So we will be have to be pushing for a little bit more participation amongst the voting than what we have in the room right now. And then we have, for the last several years, allowed members to essentially place advisory votes for officer positions, and we have always sort of accepted those. But the board will essentially evaluate and then accept any officer position votes from the membership. So I think that pretty much covers it. So let's go ahead and I think starting with the board members, the board positions first, and then we can go into the officer positions. Does that make sense?
Yes, sounds good. And thank you for that intro, Theron. Starting with our board members, we'll go alphabetically, first name. So, starting with Barb.
Hi, I'm Barb. I'm up for re-election as board member and then also for vice president. It feels weird to do two different things for me, so here's my whole spiel. I'm an elementary school teacher. I teach STEAM. I've been a member at Crash pretty much since I heard about it in 2014, and I was one of the members who dove in and was there anytime it was open and made a project and showed it at Maker Faire. Um, and so I was membership chair for a few years and then later vice president for stepping back when Liz took over that. And then I jumped back in to VP when we needed someone in that space. I'm happy to fill that role as best I can when we need it. And I should point out that new blood, new diverse perspectives are really, really important to Crash Space. It needs to evolve along with its members or it'll stagnate. So I'm kind of just putting this out there to anybody who's watching. Any other members, I'm excited to work with anybody, and I know all other officers and board members are excited to work with anybody who wants to step up and start getting more involved. If the idea of being a board member or an officer is a little intimidating now, maybe doing a little more, maybe you'll be more ready for it in a year or two or something. Um, I've been wildly busy the last couple of years, which I'm hoping should relax a little bit soon so I can do more at the space and be at more meetings in person. But I am, yeah, dedicated to Crash Space continuing to be a thing for a long time. And that's me.
All right. Thank you, Barb. Go flat. Uh, Moving along alphabetically, Ben.
All right. Hey, everybody. Ben Sachs, current board member. I also was one of the leaders on the COVID response back in the day. I'm actually now based in Philly, but I have been working for the board from Philly remotely these past couple of years. A lot of where I feel like I can contribute to the board is thinking big picture around how can we bring local, national attention to initiatives we do. How can we build out partnerships with different types of organizations that we might not have? And then, I've been kind of percolating the Firehouse project now for a while, but it's a very slow moving thing. But it's kind of nice to just kind of think about how can we set ourselves up for the future too, in terms of evolving into a larger space maybe someday, or having the type of space that we know is ours for the long haul. And so I'd be honored to keep continuing to do that type of work, with obviously the realization that, I'm here in Philly, so there's only so much I can do on the ground. But Crash was a huge, important part of my journey as an artist and a creator and a maker. And, I want to keep doing what I can to support it. So that's me.
Thank you, Ben. Moving along to Grant.
I'm going to echo what Ben said, as I did last time in the Meet the Candidates, to emphasize just how important Crash has been to me. I am a local to it from Westchester. I believe I've been a member since probably around same as Barb, 2014, 2015. And I think what we do at Crash is hugely important to the community. And we have opportunities to do great stuff. We have been doing great stuff already. And I'm excited to do what I can to contribute to that, either in person or voting on the board. And I'm excited for what's coming forward, what we got in store, whether it's the firehouse or reaching out to more local initiatives and local artists, as we've been doing. So, yeah, that's me.
All right. Thank you, Grant. Liz can't be here, but she did provide a statement. She says, I'm happy to serve as Crash Space president, and if elected, I'll continue to work to make it a welcoming, inclusive space that meets the needs of its members. She is running for president. She is uncontested, but she has, of course, been dedicated to Crash Space and done well in the role, in my personal opinion, and as I'm judging by the nodding heads, by others in the room as well. So thank you, Liz. And Barb, you, of course, provided your 2-in-1 statement. If there's anything else you'd like to say as the candidate for VP, you're certainly welcome to, but if
Still,
not,
I'm the same person from 3 minutes ago.
still the same person from 3 minutes ago. All right. Kurt couldn't be here. He is running for CFO. Kurt has also been dedicated in the role and keeps our finances in order, keeps us in line with regulations necessary. I think that he has done a solid job in that role. Moving along to secretary, which is myself. I have been secretary for the last 2 years. Crash Space has been a big part of my journey as just a creator. And I've been a member since, I believe, about 2015, if my records show correctly. And I'm happy to continue serving as secretary. I am largely involved in keeping the paperwork for government and nonprofit status, working and running. And so far, we are doing all right there. So happy to continue serving. Moving along to membership chair. That would be yourself, Josh.
Hi, I'm Joshua Truitt. I'm one of the original Crash Space members from December 2009. It's been my pleasure to be part of Crash Space ever since. For the past few years as membership chair, I've tried to maintain a course through the rocky road of the pandemic membership experience. I think we had a pretty good time through that, and we didn't lose a bunch of members, which was something that we had actually made plans around. How do we survive as a space if there are people going into the space? But we made a great transition to a lot of virtual events. This is an example of the kind of virtual, very accessible stuff that we've done. And I think we're going to do more of that in the future. During my tenure, we have not only not lost members, we've actually gained members. And it seems since the pandemic has started cooling off a little bit here, we've had a lot more people interested in the space casually dropping in. It seems like every event we have, whether it's a guest speaker or us going out to a maker event, there's at least like 2 or 3 people that drop by the space, and for every one of the events, sometimes as many as like a half dozen or more people drop by the space just because of the events that we go to or the events that we have. And then at least 1 or 2 of those people seem to stay on after every single event. So I think that we've got a good course going forwards, that we provide a service that a lot of people want. So people want to have a space where there's tools and experienced people and fun, excited makers doing stuff. And I think that's going to continue in the future. From a technical standpoint for my job, I think that one of my big objectives is a new people management system for members. We're working on a new automated system there. The cost should be nominal, comparable to other SaaS services, not like an enterprise level service. So I think that once we get that through, it'll automate a lot of the tasks that are currently being done manually. And I think we've got a bright future ahead of the space, and it's only going to get better for both current and new members. That's what I've got. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Josh. And rounding things out with our facilities co-chair candidate, Michael Eisenberg.
Hey there. I've been a member for about 1.5 years now. Crashbase has become a really important part of my life, and really enjoy all the people that I've met through Crashbase, and the opportunities it's provided for me, and want to be able to give back to the space. Steve, the current facilities chair, has been looking for somebody to take over for quite a while, and I'm happy to step up to that role. And but still definitely turn to him for advice and going forward. Let's see. As facilities chair, like to build out the workspaces that we have, make it a little bit more user-friendly for new members, kind of redesign the space so it sort of stays organized. All the tools that we have homes and aren't tucked into random corners that you have to, somebody was looking for sandpaper a couple days ago, and I was like, yes, it's living in a cardboard box under the lathe, because of course it is. So stuff like that, where as part of the crash beautification that we're doing, just kind of get the space back into a nicer workspace for people to use.
Great. Thank you, Michael. That is all of our candidates for board and officer positions that we have for today. The ballot is going to open up at 3 o'clock. At 3 o'clock, you will receive an email with your voting code. What will happen is the link in the email, you'll follow that, and then from there, enter your ballot number and then who you'd like to vote for. Voting will be open from today until 2 weeks from today on the 3rd of June, which will also be the day of our annual meeting, which will be starting at 4 o'clock. So vote early, vote often, and please show up to the annual meeting.
No, vote just once.
Vote just once.
You kind of can't vote more than once.
You can't vote more than once, but yes.
Vote as often as possible.
As allowed.
As loud. We'll go with that. But yes.
And encourage everybody to vote.
Yeah. Everybody please do vote. We do have a requirement for the minimum number of votes required for us to continue as legitimate officers and board. And we all want Crashbase to keep working. So by all means, participate. And as Barb had mentioned earlier, anyone who is interested in participating in a lighter role, we also have committees. And one of the committees that we have that we can certainly use some additional folks on would be the sponsored membership committee. If you are interested in that, reach out to Barb or myself. And with that, we will see you in 2 weeks or sooner if you go to the meetings. But thanks for coming today for all.
Right.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.